Hi, and welcome to the Ada K Show. I am Ada K. Brown, and am currently a criminal justice major, and I'm a deaf courtroom commentator. Grab a cup of Java, and let's dive in. I'm back. Yep, I'm back. We got Lorie, Vallow, somebody I hesitated to cover, but it's too good not to. Lorie Vallow was in court today, if you did not know, and we're going to go through that, and we're going to look at that, and she's got a full court client. That's all I can say. I've got a hair. She's got a full court client. Okay, let's just go ahead and dive in. I'm going to add to the stage and get this thing rocking because this is good.
The biggest legal cases making headlines in Arizona.
Welcome. I'm Ada K.
Friday, Lorie Vallow will appear before an Arizona judge where she'll be representing herself. The so-called doomsday mom who used to live in Arizona was already convicted of killing her kids in Idaho, but is now facing charges here. The I-Team's Erica Stapleton is here now to break down how we got to this point. Erica?
Yeah, well, Tram, I was in the courtroom last month when the judge allowed her to waive her right to an attorney. And one of the biggest questions was why she would want to do something like this, especially given her history of competency concerns in Idaho. Vallow was convicted in 2023 in Idaho for killing her children, Tylee and JJ, who used to live here in the Valley. She was sentenced to life in prison in Idaho, and her current husband, Chad Daybell, was sentenced to death in Idaho for the same case. At one point in time, she was deemed incompetent in that case, and it took several months to restore her to the point of going to trial. Back in Arizona, she's facing 2 conspiracy to commit murder charges, one out of Chandler in the death of her former husband, the other a shooting attempt in Gilbert at her niece's ex-husband, who ultimately was not injured. Each case will have its own trial. And one of her prior attorneys raised some flags about her competency here in Arizona, but her most recent attorney said that wasn't necessary, and she was ultimately
Okay, sorry about that. We're gonna forget that. Sorry about that. So now we are going straight into court. She kind of prances into court. I don't think we get to see that. I heard about it. I was like, so let's watch the shenanigans begin. I love pro se people. You're so entertaining.
I think I'm okay with changing it as long as we still leave the AKs. She was investigated, and obviously the first case, she was not
Right.
Bill at that time.
All right, I'm going to order that the caption of the case both cases be State of Arizona versus Lorie Daybell, formerly known as Lorie Vallow.
Oh, Daybell.
There's a pending motion to produce.
Is this
I'll
muted
ask
to
the
y'all?
Deputy County Attorney. Your reply deadline, I think, would be due next Tuesday. You're going to be filing a response. I'm sorry.
Hey, Ronnie.
I filed a response if we're talking about I filed a motion for an extension. I actually filed that on Monday. I emailed it to your court.
You're right. I meant your reply will be due the 14th. Well, I might have to give you a little extra time because of the way inmate legal services works. Did you receive the state's response yet?
I did receive it yesterday, but I was hoping that I could put my response on the record today, my reply.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Get my glasses. Do you want me to stand, Your Honor, or can I just sit here?
You can sit there.
So the state has claimed in their response that these documents are not material in the case. And this defense is entitled to this specific evidence for the proposition that this evidence can be used to impeach the thoroughness and good faith of the police investigation and the intent of the prosecution. That's Kyles versus Whitley, 514 U.S. The acid test of this prosecution is not a matter of determining if the defendant is guilty of the crimes that the defendant is charged, but rather, was any crime even committed? And where is this evidence? This defense has yet to find any evidence of a conspiracy in the 100,939 pages that have been turned over by the state. The state does not get to say, like they did in their last motion to us, in their last answer, to say, oh, we gave you over 100,000 pages, so that ought to keep you busy. That's not how it works. These are serious charges, and these are serious consequences for these charges. In determining the actuality of a crime.
Whoa, I want to go back to that. I want to go back. How many pages was that?
In the 100,939 pages that have been turned over by the state. The state does not get to say, like they did in their last motion to us, in their last answer, to say, oh, we gave you over 100,000 pages, so that ought to keep you busy. That's not how it works. These are serious charges, and these are serious consequences for these charges. In determining the actuality of a crime, the state is required to meet, in reality, not in theory, a standard of culpability that is defined by law as a crime. The state is required to meet the challenge of defense reasonably without bias, conflict, prejudice, or speculation. So the defense, we keep filing motions for discovery since we don't know if it's some kind of strategy of the state that they're holding back this actual evidence of conspiracy in hopes that the defendant won't have time to prepare a proper defense against the evidence that comes forward at the last minute. This court has denied every motion the defense has filed to acquire this evidence. The state has claimed in their response to the defense's motion that the defense's request is overbroad and wide sweeping. Is this the defense left to pinpoint where this evidence is and try to find it? No, that is not the law. The state is required by law to give the defense evidence of the crime they are being charged with. This is the purpose of the Brady Law and the right to due process. This is why in 2020, the United States enacted the Due Process Protection Act that provides defendants like me with greater protection, Brady versus Maryland. The state has continued to impede the defense from conducting a defense. This is a violation of the 14th Amendment of our great Constitution and the defense's due process rights. Today, the defense...
Let's take a breath. Let's take a breath, shall we? Oh, Nebraska girl living in New Mexico world. I love it. That is priceless. Yeah, girl, you're so guilty. Just stop. He has his own YouTube channel, but I don't remember his name. And he's all over her crap, man. He's not putting away with nothing. I want to welcome some new people in here. Thank you so much for joining. We always have a monthly giveaway. If you like the live for me, click the like button and you comment, I like, you will be in the drawing to be entered into the end of the month $50 free giveaway. Colby Ryan, thank you. Okay. We have another Sarah Boone.
Is requesting that this court do the following three things. One, order the state to turn over all evidence of a conspiracy since our trial begins in 76 days from today. I would also ask that they would pare down their witness list to these witnesses that will actually be testifying so the defense can conduct productive interviews. And then I would like for all motions and responses to be sent directly to the defendant in a timely manner. I'm having a really hard time getting this stuff. I don't get it from ILS to 7 days after things have been filed, after your orders have been rendered. I'm not getting these. This defense intends on starting trial on time without delay. And I request that also that this defense requests that the court grant the motion to order the state to produce all discovery of extradition at this time so that we can get started on getting prepared for trial.
What does anything in the extradition have to do with the underlying charges? Can you tell me that?
Yeah, it's to find out why all this started when I can't find any evidence that there is.
Have you
So
read the grand jury transcripts?
I have.
Okay, the grand jury transcripts summarize what the state's evidence they intend to produce at trial.
I understand that.
Booyah,
So when you
Judge.
say you can't find anything, that is the summary in the grand jury transcripts.
I know what you carry.
Correct.
Okay, so I guess I don't understand.
When y'all change your names, I keep you in incognito just in case you're running from somebody or something.
How an extradition a year or so after the fact, after the indictments, would have anything to do with the underlying charges. So can you articulate that for me?
I can, Your Honor. There's the detectives that are
Clunk,
on
clunk.
these cases are all continuing to go back and forth with all of these different agencies. You have the FBI, you have all the different agencies that are working together. You have Rexburg, Fremont County, you have Chandler and Gilbert. You have all these people. Then I have them coming on, and they're going to be on the stand, and they're going to be in trial, and they're going to be saying what they reviewed. They've reviewed all these things, and there's communications between all of these agencies that I feel like that the defense is privy to. We should be able to have that and look at that and see where all this came from, where all this started, why they waited 2 years to make these charges. There's all these things, and why they decided to extradite when I saw someone sent me a news article 3 days before I got brought to Arizona that MCAO was putting out a release that they were not going to pick me up and they were not going to extradite me to Arizona until after my appeals were finished. So it's contradictory to that. I just don't know where it came from. And there's a lot of things that are mystery questions to the defense that we are entitled to according to the law.
All right, well, everything you
According to the law, according to the law, according to the law. That is our new motto. According to the law, I can be whatever. Oh, that's going to be good. She is eating that mic. Actually, no, the mic is about right there on her head. It's just a nice hot mic, and I'm happy for it. Tell me if it's too loud. I'll lower if it is. Y'all, she's got so much energy. I want the judge to say, okay, calm down. We will hear everything you have to say. Speak slower. I would hate to.
you've just
interpret
told me none of that would be relevant in the trial in the case in chief. Does the state intend on producing any iota of evidence or presenting any scintilla of evidence of anything that happened after the dates of crime that have been charged in the indictments?
Leonard, the state, although there is information that occurred after that will relate
that.
to
Y'all, do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Do you see what's not there? Other DAs, files and materials. She is there in a very minimal capacity. Look at that. She's got one piece of paper, a tissue box, and her laptop. Since when have you seen a DA show up like that to court? I think they're like, oh, this is just going to be fun. I'm going to watch. I'm not going to work today. I don't want to go to work today. You know that little, I don't want to go to work today. I want to sit and watch today. Oh my gosh. It shocks me that she is there with so minimal. I know some people go, and why is that important? Well, let's think about that. Usually the DA's team, when you are in a motion hearing, they all are there, or at least you have multiple people there. She's there by herself. And then you have, usually you have all your papers and your filings, and she's just bare bones there,
Have
y'all.
been charged in the indictments?
This is bare bones there.
although there is information that occurred after that will relate to the conspiracy that has been disclosed to the defense. anything that occurred after the indictment, during the extradition process is completely irrelevant and will not be brought in during the trial.
I didn't mean the date of crime of listed in the indictment. I meant the date of the indictment. So
Correct.
the state doesn't plan on presenting any evidence to a jury of anything after the indictment.
Correct.
So how would that, anything to do with the extradition, be relevant to your trial then?
I feel like it's relevant to the whole, Your Honor, in the sense that the police investigation and the intent of the prosecution, it doesn't make sense. I would like to be able to have that.
All right. Are you otherwise on track for your trial date?
Correct.
Are there interviews going on with your investigator or your advisory council team?
We're working on getting those set up right now.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to address today? This was sort of just a status conference to make sure things are on track.
I have 2 motions that I'd like to file with the court today.
All right. Do you have copies for the state?
I don't today. I thought you could make a copy.
Can we see them?
Sure.
I'll ask the deputy county attorney, from your perspective, anything we need to discuss here today? Yeah.
No, Your Honor.
How long, I'm assuming the 2021 case would be the case that the state intends to try first.
Correct.
Yes,
How
Golden
long
Girl,
would
I'll
that
cover
case
it.
take for the state's portion to present?
Probably a couple weeks, Your Honor. I mean, and I say that obviously I'm unaware of how long defense will take for cross-examination. So I would probably ask to pre-screen the jury for significantly longer than that.
Meaning 3 weeks or 4 weeks?
Yes, Your Honor. I obviously, I do not know what Ms. Daybell is going to question any of the witnesses.
As we're looking toward that trial date, is advisory council willing to assist the defendant on the jury screening process if we do the electronic questionnaire?
Yeah, to the
Okay.
extent that we're
All right, good.
going outside of our scope, but yes.
Sure. I have received a motion for specific discovery from the defendant, well, 2 separate ones. Just going forward, can you title them maybe what specifically you're looking for? Because if you name all your motions the same thing, it gets a little difficult to keep track of them. But I have 2 separate motions for specific discovery.
Just like discovery 911 call.
For example, on this one, you could title it something like motion for discovery related to the Gilbert DR number or something like that, just to differentiate these. We'll make copies of these for the prosecutor and then we'll have those filed with the clerk today. One of your requests was to have the state send you directly any pleadings, which according to their mailing certificate at the back of the pleadings, they are mailing them to you. I can't do anything about how long the jail takes to process that. So I do recognize that there's probably some delays on that, so we won't hold you to the normal reply times because of those delays that it takes getting through the jail administratively. All right.
In that case, Your Honor, could we have perhaps that go to my investigator, then I could maybe get those faster? Can he also be included on that?
Your Honor, I do email them to advisory council as well as in the court, so there's not much else I can do.
Whoa,
the-
whoa, 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 whoa. Now that's backhanded, y'all. That's backhanded. Advisory council is not counsel. Advisory council is not lead counsel. They must notify her, not the advisory. They can do both, but you can't notify. Oh, thank you so much, Journey to Justice. You cannot notify the advisory council and not her. Guys, we have 13 watching and we only have 8 likes. Come on, guys. Thank you so much for the likes. And put I liked, like Miss Journey to Justice did, to get entered into the end of the month drawing. And so for me, I'm struggling with this because that's no. I'd be screaming. She's not lead counsel. I am. You notify me. You can notify her at the same time, but you notify me.
Who's your investigator?
Jeff White.
And your
Lorie has herself
advisory
for a client.
counselor in contact with him?
Lorie is polling
Yes.
Sarah
Okay.
Boone. Oh, isn't that a lovely shot of her dirty flip flop?
So the record will reflect that the state's getting a copy of those 2 motions today, and then the state will respond accordingly. I'll just set a I'll have you reply within 10 days of the date of the filing of their response. All right. Depending on and then I'll rule on the motions as they come, or I'll set a hearing if need be. But at this time, I'm going to affirm the final trial management conference of March 18 at 8:30 a.m. in this division. Trial date's currently March 31. Again, the first case that would be heading to trial would be the 2021 case. Anything else for today?
Yes. Will trial be staying before your honor? And if so, will we be staying in this courtroom?
I don't know yet. I'm going to confer with the associate presiding judge, and I suspect it will stay here and it will stay in this courtroom, although for jury selection, we may move to a bigger courtroom if we're doing in-person voir dire.
Jeff White?
Judge, I do know there will likely be the next of kin present. This courtroom obviously does not have a victim room or a witness room. With the media, that obviously makes it more difficult for the state to keep those individuals away from each other, from overhearing each other in this type of case. So obviously, we're happy to stay before this court, but would be requesting that this be reset or moved to the South Court Tower so we would have those accommodations.
I'll talk to the criminal presiding judge and the associate presiding judge regarding that. And it's just a matter of availability of bigger courtrooms. Anything else from the defendant?
I just was going to ask, can we set both trial dates, or how are we going to do that?
You'll have 2 separate jury trials with 2 separate juries.
Correct.
So the first trial that will be on or around March 31st. We anticipate when that trial's done, we'll talk about how quickly we're going to do the second trial. Does that answer your question?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay. It's hard to set the second one without knowing how long the first one's going to take, and then the readiness of everyone as far as the second one after the first one concludes. All right, we will be at recess on that matter. I'll take any motions under advisement.
Woohoo! I got those dates down. Yeah, we are going to cover this. 2 trials. We will, give me a second. I want to watch the exodus of the courtroom drama. Oh, my dog is asleep at my feet. I have to move her a little bit so the chair doesn't crunch her. Wow. Okay, so we're going to watch the takeaway from this, and then we're going to discuss it. I need to go into my Discord and set up a separate.
AKA Vallow saga here. She had a status conference for her upcoming murder conspiracy trial regarding the death of her 4th husband, Charles Vallow. Nate, for you, just what are your takeaways being here for the first time in Arizona and seeing her represent herself as her own attorney?
It was an interesting hearing. I mean, you were up there. I was up there. She seemed to take issue with not getting correspondence from the state in a timely manner. The judge told her, well, I can't control the mail processing system at the jail. One thing
Where
that
have we
stuck
heard
out to
that
me is
before?
She's aged since we last saw her. I mean, I have not seen her in person since she was sentenced back in 2023, so nearly.
She has not gotten her Botox in quite a few years, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and her lip fillers.
2 years ago. And she seems to really want to lead her defense. She says she intends to proceed as normal when this trial is scheduled to start on March 31st. And it will be.
Hey, Lorie, slow your roll. You have nowhere to go.
Interesting to see how this trial goes.
Yeah, interesting to say the least, because we've watched her for 5 years now, and in her murder trial in Idaho, where she was convicted for killing her children, she had a team of 2 public defenders, right? And they led everything, they handled everything. You didn't hear much from her. She didn't even testify. And now here she is with 2 legal defenders here, and they're basically giving her counsel. Not sure what they think, but they're just here kind of on the sidelines, and she's leading the charge. And she seemed to have a lot of information. She was stating some case law, and seemed to know, she has time on her hands to, study her case, and says that this is on track to start at the end of March. Were you surprised to see that she's locked in?
She was very prepared. I mean, she came with a written statement that she read. She came with questions for the judge. She came with objections or issues she wanted to raise with the prosecution, whether they are specific issues that relate to the actual trial. She had a lot of issues, it seemed, around her extradition, which the judge asked the prosecution, do you intend to bring any of this into the trial? And they said no. So she seems to be certain on focus aspects or different aspects of the case. The interesting thing, Justin, is how much evidence is in this case. I think if her main advisory attorneys were still her main counsel, they would say we're not going to be ready by March. There's terabytes of data. There's videos. There's text messages. We saw it all in the Idaho case. But she is fully determined to make this thing happen in March. She also this is Charles Vallow's trial, and there's going to be a second one for Brandon Boudreaux's trial, and she asked when that one would happen, and the judge said we got to get through the first one first. So it sounds like she wants to get this done.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of evidence to go through, and she's already ready for number 2, it seems. For those that are catching up or just jumping into the Vallow saga, I mean, she's accused of, in this case, and very similar and connected with Idaho, of identifying her 4th husband, Charles, as a dark spirit, as a zombie, and then plotting his murder and being motivated by a $1 million life insurance policy, and having her late brother, Alex Cox, shoot him in cold blood in their Chandler home. And obviously this involves a familiar named Chad Daybell, who is got the death sentence and spending the rest of his life in Idaho. And there's a lot of people involved and affected, including her family, who we saw for the first time today together. Her mother, Janice Cox, and her sister, Summer Shiflett. You spoke to them many times, spoken to them, and what that must be like for them to watch her, play lawyer.
Well, they have not come to any of the court hearings,
No.
At least in Idaho, and none in Arizona. This was their first time, I think, that they have physically seen Lorie since she was arrested 5 years ago. And I don't know if Lorie knew that they were going to be here. I know when she walked in the courtroom, she saw them and smiled. And I noticed that she looked back a few times to see her mom and sister there. And when they were leaving, they kind of smiled at each other. They did not sit there, in the courtroom there. You can read into this what you want. There's the defense side and there's the prosecution side that you can sit behind. We were sitting behind the defense just to get a better look. They did not sit on the defense side. They sat on the prosecution side. Now, I don't know if that was to prove a point or just that there were seats over there. But it was an interesting dynamic. Will they come to the trial? Who knows? They have condemned what she's done. We don't know if they communicate regularly with her in jail. But yeah, she did have family members there.
Can we get her behavioral
Kay
note?
and Larry Woodcock, JJ's grandparents, they were on Zoom or they were watching remote, and they have said that they intend to come to the trial. We'll see. One thing that stuck out to me, Justin, is, in Idaho, it was in a bigger courtroom and there were people that were lining up outside the courtroom doors. This is a much smaller courtroom. And that's what the prosecution raised is the trial going to be held in this specific courtroom? And if so, there's no victim room. And there could be a seating issue if the public decides they want to come to this trial. So that's another thing the judge is going to take under advisement. Do they move it to another courtroom that's bigger for the public to come? Maybe there won't be as much public interest. I'm not sure.
And how long will jury selection take? I mean, we are in a very, very large county, Maricopa County, so should not be an issue finding a jury, but this has gone on for 5 years. A lot of people have seen a lot of coverage, media coverage on Lorie Vallow, but the judge does not think that will be an issue. We're sort of going backwards in the case to where it all started here in Arizona, the roots. There's been resolution and justice in Idaho where JJ and Tyler were found, buried in Chad Daybell's backyard, and for Tammy Daybell, his first wife. But now we're really getting into getting justice for the person who sounded the alarm on what his wife was going through mentally. But do you think we'll see a lot of the same evidence replay?
I would imagine so, but what surprised me and maybe surprised you too was in Chad Daybell's trial, there was new stuff, a lot of new stuff that we hadn't heard in Lorie Vallow's trial. So it's not just going to be a
husbands,
repeat. The charges
girl.
are different here. As you said, this all happened back in July of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So this was really the first alleged crime in the series of crimes that led up to it. So we are going back to the beginning. I think there'll be new stuff. The court seems a little bit more determined to move it along. We're not going to see an 8-week trial here. It's not a death penalty case. Lorie seems very determined to move it along too. How much of defense will she put on? Is she going to question each witness, or is she just going to say, I have nothing? Will her questions be within the scope? Will she present her own evidence, her own defense? That will be fascinating to see. I think, though, that it will move quicker, the trial, based on what they were saying, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe. But it'll be fascinating to see her. The great thing is, too, so far the judge has been very media friendly, so there will be cameras in there. And we want to thank Fox 10 for doing the legwork here and having that camera set up so that you all at home can watch the
Thank you,
proceedings.
Fox
The
10.
prosecution has said this is going to take a couple of weeks to present the case after finding a jury. They've got so much there, obviously, like you said, terabytes of evidence, body camera footage, text message, and all that. Where it gets interesting is how Lorie does her defense, and will we have to stop and have a lot of sidebars because she's not a lawyer, but she's representing herself, and who does she call to the stand to testify? And then this could delay the trial, even though it's slated for a few weeks or so. So that's going to be very interesting. Nate, any other thoughts on this? Being in a courthouse here in Maricopa County for the first time on a case that's taken so much of your life, our lives, for the last 5 years.
It'll be interesting to see it play out. All the court staff, just as a side note, have been very professional, friendly. It's good to see it here. It will be a whole new game though with Lorie Vallow Daybell representing herself and preparing her arguments, preparing her defense. She probably wants this done, and then regardless of the outcome, she'll then be moved back to Idaho to serve her life sentence there in the Pocatello Women's Correctional Center once both trials are done here. So, one other thing, it's much warmer here than in Idaho. So, and the sun's shining. It's so beautiful.
You brought a little chill here. Nate, thanks so much for your time. For all of our coverage on this case, head to fox10phoenix.com/Vallow.
Thank you so much, Fox 10, for all of that. I greatly appreciate it. And I did give y'all credit in the comments. I know I don't have to, but I'm starting to do a lot of that. And I'm trying to learn how to do comments, take care of all that while I'm live at the same time. I need a mod who's good with YouTube. I need a mod who can do StreamYard. I'm wondering, is she going to ask to be able to watch the Sarah Boone motion hearings so she can get ideas on how to try to get a makeup artist, a hairstylist? Maybe she can ask for those Botox injections and filler injections and get her all fluffed and plumped and looking less old and maybe getting a new outfit or a suit like Miss Boone got. Oh, yeah, that would be funny. She wants custom-made yoga pants with files sewn in. Forget the pie. Give me the yoga pants with the files sewn in. Y'all, Ronnie and my mods, just so you know, in Discord, I have set up a file. And in that, I don't want the old case files. I want only what pertains to the upcoming trial, please. That would be fabulous if we can get those. And guys, you know what, guys? You too can get those files. All you have to do is go to our fabulous As the Gavel Drops. They are a partner of ours. Go over to their Discord, register, validate your account, and you too can read and dive into all the fabulous motions and court documents to your heart's content. This is where we gain most of our court documents. So thank you, As the Gavel Drops, as being a wonderful support to my channel and many others. So yes, As the Gavel Drops. Also, guys, right now, do you know what I want? Really, really want? What do I want? What I really, really want? I want Ollie T. I want to welcome Ollie T to our family. They are our new sponsor. Ollie T is a veteran, woman-owned company. They are passionate about creating artisan small batch herbal teas, focusing on self-care and wellness, while at the same time offering tasty drink options. Ollie Tea does not incorporate scenting or flavoring agent and is naturally caffeine-free with no added sugars. They let the natural ingredients speak for themselves. The herbal teas are packed as loose leaf and in convenient tea bags. Certified Go Texas and homegrown by heroes. They offer many different choices, from lavender citrus to lemony mint to restore and to scarlet nibs. They also offer fabulous Christmas gifts, such as these wonderful tea strainers. Y'all, this is absolutely beautiful. Please click on the QR code or go to www.buyollytea.com to get your tea. Let me know which is your favorite. I hope you enjoy. And use the discount code ADAK10 every time you order, not only on your first order, every time you order, to get 10% off. Yay! Ollie T. That's an English song. I do English. We were at a thrift store today, and I saw two teacups. And on the bottom, it says produced and handmade in England. I have too many. I did get one more, though. And then I got, on my desk, I have a mat. And I saw this, and it says, God is within her. She will not fail. Psalms 46:5. And it's one of those little padded things. And it has a small one for your mouse. And then it has the flat mat. That was one of my sister's favorite verses. It was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, Ada is going crazy in the house. I'm going to my live communications. So I want to thank all my mods. I haven't done that lately, but mods, thank you. I have asked every single one of you to do this. I'm going to ask you to do it again. Go to Mod Corner and please send me your photo of you, a nice photo of you, because I want to do something. I want to level my mods. But let's talk about this woman. Okay, the tea itself is not an English tea, but the woman, why does it have to be an English tea, my dear? This tea, I have a small package, is not a commercial tea. Okay. Ollie Tea Premium Loose Leaf Herbal Tea. The tea is meticulously processed in small batches to ensure the highest of quality and the best tasting herbal teas. And what's nice about it is she gives steeping instructions. So, but it's also got a manufacture date. It is very, very fresh, very, very clean. It does not have a bunch of preservatives and additives to it. So it's really good. And this one here is cinnamon apple. Oh, y'all, this is so good. This is probably what I'm going to have this afternoon. I don't share with too many people, but my mom and dad used to they do tea time at 4:00 every day. Even when he was a corporate VP of oil refinery, he would come home at 4:00 and have tea with his lovely wife and then go back to work until dinner time. It's an awesome way to connect with your spouse or loved one. Yep. But why does it have to be English if it's good? Hers are prepared a lot like the English teas are prepared, so I'm not going to argue that. So the case with Lorie Vallow Daybell, I didn't really follow her closely because, in all honesty, it was pretty gruesome what they did to the kids. I was new to what I was doing. I had other cases that we had started to follow, and I thought it was just a little bit too much for me to bite too big of an apple back then. So now that I've been doing this a little bit, I am ready to take her on. For those of you who don't know me very well, we started in officially May. I believe it was May of this past year. So we are 8 months into this officially, and we are doing well. And I want to thank everybody for that. Oh, they do have a plain tea. It's your basic Ollie tea, which is this one here. This is just a basic Ollie tea. It's just a basic tea. No major flavoring, just your basic tea. But I get it. I get it. It's okay. Everybody has their favorites. I'm just giving you a hard time. I do milk in mine too. You are in England from an Irish family. We're all about the black tea. Yep. So, anyway, I'm going to see if I can find out. Can somebody Google for me the names of her 5 husbands? Well, my son loves my little oyster crackers. He comes in here, can I have a few? Takes a whole hand. You skipped the Lorie case. Her legal advice reading hers and Chad's text. Cringe was too much. I couldn't listen to the recaps. Yeah, I felt some of it was much. So back to what I was asking, any of my mods, can someone find the 5 names of all of her husbands? That'd be great. These 5 don't count her past lives. Oh, you're an English girl from England living in Wisconsin. Oh, you are so great. I guess I should screenshot this so I can see it later. And I'd had a horrible screenshot. My face was like, Joseph Anthony Ryan Jr. married on 2001, divorced in 2005. Leland Charles Anthony Vallow married 2006, died in 19. Chad Daybell married in 2019. Okay, that's only 3. Where are the other 2? I got a cracker in my teeth. I'm sorry. Where are the others? That's only 3. Where are the other 2? Haney Mouse for the win. Yes, this is the Emily D. Baker line of lip gloss. I got it when she was working with the other people. It says Law Nerd on one side and Emily D. Baker on the other. I thought it was so cool. Came in 3 different shades. I absolutely love it. Yeah, and how many were deceased? She was married 4 times. Well, they said 5 husbands, so who's the 5th? I didn't notice they didn't list them all. Maybe they were just annulments. I don't know. Is that my pad that's plugged in that I could be? Oh. Heating pad time. My back is killing me. Thanks to Doug, Tracy's husband, who let me borrow her heating pad. I greatly love and appreciate you for it. I couldn't be sitting here without you. Heating pads, great, love them. So, this time what we're just going to do is I am going to cover this case, but what I don't know is she is right now on trial for unaliving husband number 1. Is that correct? And now I'm all tangled up in cordage. Come on, thank you. She is now on being tested. Now it's husband number 1, but what's the second trial going to be about? I didn't know there was that many trials coming up with her. My desk and everything. I need to clean it all off. Since I go. No. Colby's real dad and high school husband. Okay. I don't know. We need to find a lineage of this woman. I need to get a chart or create a chart of husbands. We need the journey thus far. But this particular case is killing her first husband, unaliving her first husband. Sorry, YouTube. And then what is the second case that they were talking about that they said they would set up after this one has gone to trial? I am going to do a deep. I need to find somebody to help me do that deep. I'd like to have a guest come on. Who do you guys know who knows everything about Lorie Vallow? Who would you want to see come on my live with me? Stop. My dog is looking up at me through the desk. The ex-nephew. That's case number 2. And then the number 2 is the ex-nephew. What a name. Boudreaux. Wow. So who do you recommend to bring on? Who do you recommend to bring on? Okay. I had no idea that Lorie Vallow had this much criminal activity. So she's unalived her 2 children. She's accused of unaliving a husband, the first husband. She's accused of unaliving her ex-husband, her now or current husband's wife. And then 5 is then trying to unalive Brandon. Yes, hit the like buttons, you guys, because the more you like, the more you get entered. We do have a drawing at the end of every live. And if you are watching, hit the like button so you can be in that drawing. So she has unalived a lot of people. Wow. See, I didn't know when I started doing this anything really about her. So to me, it was just, is what it is. But my gosh, I had no idea it was this bad, y'all. Had no idea it was this bad. For those of you who are just joining, if you guys would like me, it's only about 10-15 minutes to replay. I kind of wouldn't mind replaying the replaying the news hearing. It's short. It is short. It is short. You guys, we had a glitch in the drawing. Everybody who's liked, put I like again, because there was a space in there accidentally, so it wasn't taking it. So everybody do it again. You don't have to like it again. Do it again. Oh, Veronica, I love you. I love you. I love you, man. Why are you not opening in browser? I want this in big end. Oh, I can't do that. I need to move my pad. I apologize, everybody. I really, really do. I did not know that there was a glitch going on. So go ahead and re-comment a light if you're still with us. Okay. Thank you to my fabulous mod who, Ronnie, I love you, darling. I really do. Lorie Vallow, her brother, Alex Cox, age 51, cause suspicious autopsy being conducted. He passed away 12/12 of 19. Ex-husband number 4, Charles Vallow, age 62, cause a lead shooter by Alex. Lorie's brother, 7/11/19. Oh my gosh. Ex-husband number 3, Joseph Ryan, age questionable, cause heart attack. Questionable, died 4/3 of 18. He is the father of JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan, ages 7, JJ, Tylee, 17. Adopted by Lorie and Joseph, passed away September of 19. Tylee, biological, age 17, passed away of 9/9/19. Sister Stacy Cope, age 31, causes unknown, died May 21 of 98. Husband number 5, Chad Daybell, Tommy Daybell, age 49, cause natural, no autopsy, died 11/19/19. Holy crap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people died in 19, 1 in 18, and 198. Hi, Toxic. Hi, babe. We are so glad that you hopped in. Oh, we are so glad you hopped in. You have been on my heart today and in my prayers and blessings and love. And thank you. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for liking. Oh my gosh, everybody. Thank you so much. Is this a raid or something? Vallow, let's see. Vallow Daybell first married to a high school sweetheart when she was just 19. It ended quickly. She married again in her 20s and had a son named Colby before divorcing. And that's the one that we see, Colby Ryan, who is a YouTuber. Yes, Haley Mouse, we know. It's okay. Make sure you said I like. You did. Okay. Have fun. In 2021, Vallow Daybell married again, this time to a man named Joseph Ryan. The couple had a baby girl named Tylee in 2002, but divorced just a few years later. Ryan later died in his home. That's interesting. It's been a crazy day. It really has. If you say you liked, you get entered into a drawing. So please click the like button and like. They ended Joe's life, I bet. Yeah, I would venture to say she ended everybody's life in one way or the other. And she probably had access and ways to making it look more natural instead of a homicidal. Joe Ryan was unalived by Lorie too and her brother for money. Wasn't it a $1 million life insurance policy I heard? Let's see. Haha, don't you know you were covering the Lorie case? So I I didn't know I was going to cover it either, but this was getting too good. It's not about children. And, I don't mind covering certain children cases, but back when this was being covered, there was a lot of children cases and it's got a little bit much. And I was super new to this. I'm still super new to this. I've only been doing this about 8 months. Officially for 8 months. So it's been a wonderful ride and I'm so blessed to have all of you here. Toy, oh, how awesome. Those are always cool to get new big appliances. I'm sorry. I'm an appliance geek. You feel better today because yes, you will. Your energy, it'll take a while for your energy to get up. Why do people unalive people and not themselves? It solves all their problems. Sorry, just frustrated by the stupidity of some people. I don't ever suggest anybody unaliving themselves, but if you want to go out and commit an unaliving or red room, I'd rather red room yourself than red room somebody else. That's all I can say. And it may be harsh and cruel, but I don't want anybody to red room anybody. But if you got a choice between you and somebody else, do it to yourself. Stainless steel, and yes, I like them. Now, if they just hurry up and finish. I know. Well, honey boo, just be blessed. You're not in LA right now. And I got to say this. I said a harsh comment earlier about the media going on and on about the famous people, movie stars and rock stars and all these influential people losing their homes in the hoity-toity areas of LA and Hollywood and all that. And I know it's horrible for anybody, but there are a few of those people that are very famous who have been grieved over their loss, but turn around and start helping the neighbors who lived there and had no other home to go to. There were some stars that did live in those homes 40, 50, 60 years. They're elderly or retired, or they came from their parents. So it is devastation all the way around. I just wish the news media would focus on the loss of everybody and not just the loss of the famous people. Let's see. Sorry. So Lorie got about 60,000 and he got monthly payments. Oh, okay. I love my washer and dryer. It's huge washer. The dryer can't keep up with the load capacity of the washer. I will tell you that. I have to, in order to reach the bottom, I have to get on the step stool. It's huge. It's deep. It's massive. Massive. So, Ronnie, you are so awesome. That's why you're my research queen. And Toxic, we have shouted out your Discord group. You guys, Toxic in Discord is fabulous people. Once again, go over there to get all your court documents. But I am needing the documents only pertaining to the next two cases. Let's just say this case that's at hand first, because they're not going to even talk about the second case till after this one is over. So we have a lot of people who are joining us who did not get to see, or I don't think have seen, the video of Lorie in court. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to video in court through Court TV. Let me get it presented. I want to listen one more time. Okay, guys, I do want to listen just one more time. It is a short hearing, so don't worry. It's not going to be too long. We might hear some things we missed in the first one. Yeah, I just lost my pen. That was interesting. Oh, there it went. So yes, I got one because I had kids in all these activities. So Tori, yes, it's called As the Gavel Drops, and she is phenomenal. I know, right? It's the #1 place to find all your court documents. She has a ton of people researching and finding and paying for those documents. So if you use those documents on your live, please give credit where credit is due.
Services works. Did you receive the state's response yet?
I did receive it yesterday, but I was hoping that I could put my response on the record today, my reply.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Get my glasses. you want me to stand, Your Honor, or can I just sit here?
You can sit there.
So the state has claimed in their response that these documents are not material in the case, and this defense is entitled to this specific evidence for the proposition that this evidence can be used to impeach the thoroughness and good faith of the police investigation and the intent of the prosecution. That's Kyles versus Whitley, 514 U.S. The acid test of this prosecution is not a matter of determining if the defendant is guilty of the crimes that the defendant is charged, but rather, was any crime even committed? And where is this evidence? This defense has yet to find any evidence of a conspiracy in the 100,939 pages that have been turned over by the state. The state does not get to say, like they did in their last motion to us, in their last answer, to say, oh, we gave you over 100,000 pages, so that ought to keep you busy. That's not how it works. These are serious charges, and these are serious consequences for these charges. In determining the actuality of a crime, the state is required to meet, in reality, not in theory, a standard of culpability that is defined by law as a crime. The state is required to meet the challenge of defense reasonably without bias, conflict, prejudice, or speculation. So the defense, we keep filing motions for discovery since we don't know if it's some kind of strategy of the state that they're holding back this actual evidence of conspiracy in hopes that the defendant won't have time to prepare a proper defense against the evidence that comes forward at the last minute. This court has denied every motion the defense has filed to acquire this evidence. The state has claimed in their response to the defense's motion that the defense's request is overbroad and wide sweeping. Is this the defense left to pinpoint where this evidence is and try to find it? No, that is not the law. The state is required by law to give the defense evidence of the crime they are being charged with. This is the purpose of the Brady Law and the right to due process. This is why in 2020, the United States enacted the Due Process Protection Act that provides defendants like me with greater protection, Brady versus Maryland. The state has continued to impede the defense from conducting a defense. This is a violation of the 14th Amendment of our great Constitution and the defense's due process rights. Today, the defense is requesting that this court do the following three things. One, order the state to turn over all evidence of a conspiracy since our trial begins in 76 days from today. I would also ask that they would pare down their witness list to these witnesses that will actually be testifying so that
So who does she sound like? Just the way she's talking. Whom does she sound like? I am waiting to hear this come out of her mouth.
We had a good day. It was a good day.
I'm waiting for it. Pare down the witness list? No.
defense can conduct productive interviews. And then I would like for all motions and responses to be sent directly to the defendant in a timely manner. I'm having a really hard time getting this stuff. I don't get it from ILS till 7 days after things have been filed, after your orders have been rendered. I'm not getting these. This defense intends on starting trial on time without delay. And I request that also that this defense requests that the court grant the motion to order the state to produce all discovery of extradition at this time so that we can get started on getting prepared for trial.
What does anything in the extradition have to do with the underlying charges? Can you tell me that?
Yeah, it's to find out why all this started when I can't find any evidence that there is. So,
have you read the grand jury transcripts?
I have.
Okay, the grand jury transcripts summarize what the state's evidence they intend to produce at trial.
I understand that.
So when you say you can't find anything, that is the summary in the grand jury transcripts.
Correct.
Okay, so I guess I don't understand how an extradition a year or so after the fact, after the indictments, would have anything to do with the underlying charges. So can you articulate that for me?
I can, Your Honor. There's the detectives that are
part. I love that part. Yo, that ought to be a sound clip. You ready? Listen.
Underlying charges. So can you articulate that for me?
I can, Your Honor. There's
Okay. They're not
the detectives that are on
You're right
these
back,
cases are all continuing to go back and forth with all of these different agencies. You have the FBI, you have all the different agencies that are working together. You have Rexburg, Fremont County, you have Chandler and Gilbert. You have all these people. Then I have them coming on, they're going to be on the stand and they're going to be in trial and they're going to be saying what they reviewed. They've reviewed all these things. And there's communications between all of these agencies that I feel like that the defense is privy to. We should be able to have that and look at that and see where all this came from, where all this started, why they waited 2 years to make these charges. There's all these things, and why they decided to extradite when I saw someone sent me a news article 3 days before I got brought to Arizona that MCAO was putting out a release that they were not going to pick me up and they were not going to extradite me to Arizona until after my appeals were finished. So it's contradictory to that. I just don't know where it came from. And there's a lot of things that are mystery questions to the defense that we are entitled to according to the law.
All right. Well, everything you've just told me, none of that would be relevant in the trial in the case in chief. Does the state intend on producing any iota of evidence or presenting any scintilla of evidence of anything that happened after the dates of crime that have been charged in the indictments?
The state, although there is information that occurred after that will relate to the conspiracy that has been disclosed to the defense, anything that occurred after the indictment, during the extradition process is completely irrelevant and will not be brought in during the trial.
I didn't mean the date of crime listed in the indictment. I meant the date of the indictment. Correct. So the state doesn't plan on presenting any evidence to a jury of anything after the indictment.
Correct.
So how would that, anything to do with the extradition, be relevant to your trial then?
I feel like it's relevant to the whole, Your Honor, in the sense that the police investigation and the intent of the prosecution, it doesn't make sense. I would like to be able to have that.
All right. Are you otherwise on track for your trial date?
Correct.
Are there interviews going on with your investigator or your advisory council team?
We're working on getting those set up right now.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to address today? This was sort of just a status conference to make sure things are on track.
I have 2 motions that I'd like to file with the court today.
All right. Do you have copies for the state?
I don't today. I thought you could make a copy.
Can we see them?
Sure.
I'll ask the deputy county attorney, from your perspective, anything we need to discuss here today? Yeah.
As Lorie Daybell gets those motions, all that paperwork together for the judge to see, we are going to squeeze in a quick break, but we are going to have more from the Lorie Daybell hearing in the cult mom conspiracy case in Arizona. We'll be right back.
I'm Vinny Politan. Welcome to Closing Arguments.
What's happening here?
It's unreal. Let me show you exactly what happened.
Closing Arguments with Vinny Politan, tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
JonBenet is God.
Part 2 of a special report.
Exclusive video of the man who claims to be JonBenet Ramsey's killer.
Vinny Politan investigates, tonight, 9/8 Central, only on Court TV.
Case that the state intends to try first?
Correct.
How long would that case take for the state's portion to present?
Probably a couple weeks, Your Honor. I mean, and I say that obviously I'm unaware of how long defense will take for cross-examination. So I would probably ask to pre-screen the jury for significantly longer than that.
Meaning 3 weeks or 4 weeks?
Yes, Your Honor. I obviously do not know what Ms. Daybell is going to question any of the witnesses.
As we're looking toward that trial date, is advisory council willing to assist the defendant on the jury screening process if we do the electronic questionnaire?
Yeah, so
Okay. All right, good.
going outside of our scope, but yeah.
My
Sure.
apologies, y'all.
I have received a motion for specific discovery from the defendant, well, two separate ones. Just going forward, can you title them maybe what specifically you're looking for? Because if you name all your motions the same thing, it gets a little difficult to keep track of them. But I have two separate motions for specific discovery.
Just like discovery 911 call.
For example, on this one, you could title it something like motion for discovery related to the Gilbert DR number or something like that, just to differentiate these. We'll make
You could hear her attorney whispering, her attorney consultant whispering.
copies of these for the prosecutor, and then we'll have those filed with the clerk today. One of your requests was to have the state send you directly any pleadings, which according to their mailing certificate at the back of the pleadings, they are mailing them to you. I can't do anything about how long the jail takes to process that. So I do recognize that there's probably some delays on that, so we won't hold you to the normal reply times because of those delays that it takes getting through the jail administratively. All right.
In that case, Your Honor, could we have perhaps that go to my investigator, then I could maybe get those faster? Can he also be included on that?
Your Honor, I do email them to advisory council as well as in the court, so.
Also, y'all, yes, she went from being not wanting cameras to being the belle of the ball. She saw Sarah Boom Boom, Honey Boom Boo. She saw Honey Boo Boo, so that's how that goes. Wonder why the judge is not asking the state to help her with the paperwork. Well, because she says she can be her own attorney. She has to act like one. Thank you for the looking beautiful in blue. Thank you so much. I made a comment the first time we watched this that have you noticed that there's one piece of paper, computer, and the assistant DA sitting in that chair? Where's the rest of the team? Where's the rest of the documents? Like you would normally see. Oh, yeah, because I think it's a joke.
All right.
But there's not much else I can do.
Who's your investigator?
Jeff White.
And your advisory counselor in contact with him?
I don't know how that goes. I think.
Yeah.
They can be.
Okay. So the record will reflect that the state's getting a copy of those two motions today, and then the state will respond accordingly. I'll just set a I'll have you reply within 10 days of the date of the filing of their response. All right. Depending on and then I'll rule on the motions as they come, or I'll set a hearing if need be. But at this time, I'm going to affirm the final trial management conference of March 18 at 8:30 a.m. in this division. Trial date's currently March 31. Again, the first case that would be heading to trial would be the 2021 case. Anything else for today?
Yes. Will trial be staying before Your Honor? And if so, will we be staying in this courtroom?
I don't know yet. I'm going to confer with the associate presiding judge, and I suspect it will stay here and it will stay in this courtroom, although for jury selection, we may move to a bigger courtroom if we're doing in-person voir dire.
And Judge, I do know there will likely be the next of kin present. This courtroom obviously does not have a victim room or a witness room. With the media, that obviously makes it more difficult for the state to keep those individuals away from each other, from overhearing each other in this type of case.
That is so true.
Obviously, we're happy to stay before this court, but would be requesting that this be reset or moved to the South Court Tower, so we would have those accommodations.
I'll talk to the criminal presiding judge and the associate presiding judge regarding
I
that.
would be there.
And it's just a matter of availability of bigger courtrooms. Anything else from the defendant?
I just was going to ask, can we set both trial dates, or how are we going to do that?
No, honey, boo boo.
You'll have two separate jury trials with two separate juries.
Correct.
So the first trial that will be on or around March 31st. We anticipate when that trial's done, we'll talk about how quickly we're going to do the second trial. Does that answer your question?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay. It's hard to set the second one without knowing how long the first one's going to take and then the readiness of everyone as far as the second one after the first one concludes. All right, we will be at recess on that matter. I'll take any motions under advisement.
Okay, that hearing has concluded in Arizona. This is Lorie's first hearing since the judge approved her request to represent herself. As we continue to watch what unfolds there in the courtroom in Arizona.
Okay, so this is going to be an interesting trial. Before y'all head away, we have 40 of you here watching live. Thank you so very much. If you would please do me a favor and hit that like button and then comment I liked, ILIKED, all one word. You will be in a drawing for a $50 gift card at the end of the month to Starbucks or wherever you wish. So the situation with the Lorie Vallow Daybell, they're going to be using her as Lorie Daybell for this case, is her unalive. I don't really know much yet. I am investigating. I'm going to start doing a deeper dive. Probably this weekend, I'm going to try and pull up and find as much material as I can. So I'm asking all my little wonderful document fairies to please help and get me some documents as soon as possible on this particular case. Not the case that's already happened, but y'all quit getting off on the Barbies. So, but what interesting fact is that this is the first time that her family has seen her outside of a jail. A lot of them haven't seen her for 5 years. And they were in the courtroom today sitting on, I think on the prosecutor's side, they said, because the courtroom on her side was full. I don't know. But, thank you, Hilda B. Thank you for liking. Appreciate you. But this is going to be another interesting trial now that she is representing herself. Kind of want to take bets as to how long is it going to take for her to realize she can't handle this and for her to get her own for her to get an additional attorney. Sorry, my camera's kind of migrating. For her to gain another attorney. I don't think she did that bad today, but I don't think she was a bag of chips and all that either. She stated that she felt she was qualified because she had been in several, hi TK, had been in several, had assisted in several trials, been in several cases, and felt she could handle it. She does have a standby counsel, but that standby counsel is standby counsel. And at one point, the assistant DA said that they were going to send something to the standby counsel. And I kind of got upset about that because they need to send it to Lorie first and then to the standby counsel. Lorie is having some issues getting documents in the prison or jail, excuse me. Just like Sarah Boone was having, it is the slow mail process. And the judge is like, that's out of my hands. Sorry, boo. And then she did throw her fit. I couldn't believe she actually wrote down the number of pages, but it was 100,939 pages of documents and evidence that the prosecution had sent her. And she felt that they were just doing what's called a document drop in order to keep her busy. She had 2 motions that she wanted to file, and she spoke of the Brady law and how that applied to her. She does have a son named Colby Ryan, who is a YouTuber. That's my little note that I'm just throwing in there. Her standby counsel will take over her case if Lorie cannot. Sometimes they can get a totally different counsel to come in as long as they're not actually in the physical middle of the trial. If they're in the middle of the trial, then she'll just hop on in. But if she does a Sarah Boone and gets a counsel prior to trial, then. But I honestly don't think she will. I think she's just a little more stubborn than Boone. I also will say I think she may have a little more brain cells than Boone, but not by much. She was requesting the prosecution to pare down their witness list to who will actually testify, not who possibly could testify. And I'm all like, sweetie, they don't have to do that. And you could do the same. You can put whoever you want on your witness list and give the witness list to the prosecution and keep them busy doing what is it? Oh gosh, the statements, depositions. I think she knows that March is going to come quickly and she's got a lot of witnesses and a lot of stuff to do. Yep, she can't ask the person about law. Possibly. She is once again upset that she's not getting her information in a timely manner. She wanted her extradition information. The judge says, why? How does this pertain to this? She also wanted to know if the state was going to be presenting any evidence after the indictment date. The state assistant district attorney, that's when she finally stands up and chimes in on this hearing, said absolutely not. There was no reason to. She will get everything that's pertaining to the case and the case only. Lorie Vallow Daybell said she had 2 motions that she brought in that day. The judge gave the state 10 days from the date of receipt of said motions to respond. Owens to the rescue. Yeah, that would be a joke. March 18th at 8:30 a.m. I think that's the pretrial. I'm sorry. That's why. I got a new extension and I'm having a hard time. And now I know why, because I have a puppers down there. My dog is down there. So March 18th, I believe, is equal to a pretrial, if I understood that correctly. They are wanting to have a little more courtroom, as you guys saw, for the space. The first trial is slated to start on March the 31st. Lorie wanted to know when the second trial would begin, and the judge said, let's finish the first one before we hit the second one. Okay, shall we? We were talking about her husbands and all that kind of stuff a minute ago. She's had a total of 5 husbands. This case is about her unaliving her first husband. And then this next case is something to do with her ex-nephew, Brandon Boudreaux. So that's kind of the lowdown of what happened today. We did kind of get an idea of how she was going to act and respond today. I kind of saw her as very, very, very quick and to the point, which is good. Toxics ate or inhaled. I think it's more of inhaled. Well, at least she wasn't held for 13 months in a solitary confinement, taking fecal matter and wiping it all over walls and self and eating it. So at least she hasn't gone that far yet. Surprise, surprise that she hasn't. Oh, toxic. Oh, you meant voice, not intelligence. I missed that. Irony. Oh, she has to actually work to put on a case for herself. Heaven forbid. That takes valuable hair and makeup playtime. Yeah, right. Idaho trials have nothing to do with the trial in Arizona. Fly me to the moon. Yeah, and on top of that, I kind of made a joke earlier about someone saying that she's looking older. She's mature. One of the news reporters said that she looks a little more mature, a little more older. She looks like she's aged a little bit in the last few years. And I'm all like, please, she hasn't aged anymore in the last few years and the rest of us. What's happened is the Botox is worn off. The injections are no longer nice and full and plumped. And Her lips are thinning out and her skin is turning to more of a leathery type, texture because she doesn't have all that expensive stuff that she's doing. She's not getting the manicure every 2 weeks and the nails done and the facials and the hair done and everything else. Was Lorie in solitaire? I don't know. The fourth husband is Charles. Poor baby. And for those of you, this is not politics. It is news and it is court related. It is not politics or pineapples. It's pineapples, no politics. And come on, guys. Let's get, oh my gosh, yay. How many? We got some entries. You guys, we only have 8 entries. If you hit the like button and would like a chance to win a gift card at the end of the month, please put ILIKED and it will add you to the drawing. So, what I'm going to be interested, free trial is going to be fun. I don't know. I would love to be able to get her commissary list. I would love to get her behavioral notes, although I bet she is behaving a lot better than Miss Boone did. I bet she's behaving a whole lot better than Miss Boone did. But, yeah, I think at this point she's already got a life sentence. Her current husband got the death penalty, or DP. So I think this is just going to be a matter of formality and justice for the families. In all honesty, there's nothing more they can do to her. She will have to serve the life sentence, even if she got the DP, which she's not able to get here. Even if that was the case, that she would have to serve out the case in Idaho before going to the case in Arizona. So back to what I was going to say, and now I lost my train of thought. For those of you who don't know, President-elect Donald Trump was in court today. Oh my gosh, I forgot. What did he get for his sentencing? What do they call it? What do they call it? What do they call it? I forgot what they called it. I just lost it. Unconditional discharge. That's what he got. Unconditional discharged. That is something that I was new to, so I kind of might do a dive on that. Not him personally, but what an unconditional discharge is. No, but she can certainly call Colby and tell him Tylee killed her brother and then unalived herself. That's how far a home go. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me if she hasn't tried that. Oh, she's in a room of her own. She's a guest in this jail. That's right. I forgot. This is not her home cell. So yes, she does have a room to herself. But I would assume that she would want that since she's working on her own case. Excuse the yawn. I apologize. So right now she's in the process, I'm sure, of getting herself ready for this trial, and she's going to have to do some depositions. She does have an investigator, once again, that the state of Arizona and their lovely tax-paying citizens are paying for, along with this attorney that is there to assist her and be a reference for her, is getting paid by the taxpayers of Arizona. I just kind of wonder, is it really worth it to go after somebody who's already on the on a life sentence? So much money. But at the same time, she's got her appeal. Wow. I need to get me some tea. Life in Ohio. Oh, I know. They believe in that, right? So what she could do is serve life in Ohio. And then when she's reincarnated, come back and serve life in Arizona. That would be fabulous. Really? I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. Y'all, that is horrendous. That is horrible. OMG. I had no idea, as they say here in Texas. I had no idea that she had that dream. Speaking of dreams, I won't share it right now, but I had a very, very, very strong dream of my sister who just passed away. And of course, I woke up crying, but it was a good thing. It was a good dream. Good dream. Good dream. Yes, the case does need closure. I just hate the amount of money that's being spent on this case. I hate it. And it's frustrating and it's irritating, but it is what it is. Yeah, I can't with her. What is an unconditional discharge? I will go ahead and give you that. Okay. Let me get down to a good description. I know what it is, but just let me get Wikipedia or something on there. I don't want it. I want just an unconditional. Thank you. And of course, everybody else shows up but what I want. Okay, here we go. Unconditional discharge. Of course, it would be in his case again. I want definition. Once again, I can tell you, but I just rather read the actual definition of what an unconditional discharge is. Okay, here we go. An unconditional discharge. I could do the voice, couldn't I? An unconditional discharge is a legal term that means a person was convicted of a crime but won't face any penalties like incarceration or probation. It's exactly what it says, a discharge from punishment without any conditions such as probation or monitoring, meaning he will always have the word guilty, found guilty of blank, but there will be no punishment. Yet put the call out. Do you know what toxic? Yeah, can you drop that to me, baby girl? I know if you're available, I would play that call right now for every single one of y'all. I'm going to my Discord as we speak. I'm opening, well, it's always open, but I'm just kind of going down into my live communication. So if you want to drop that or somebody can drop it, that'd be great. Yeah, I feel bad for her next life. How will we be able to tell it's her? Oh, she read that in the court sentencing. That's right. I remember that now. We did have a fabulous mod of mine who I adore. This is the Lorie Vallow chain of people who have deceased deceased, who've had a relationship with her. Her brother, Alex Cox, age 51, cause suspicious autopsy being conducted. It's unknown. He passed away on December 12th of 19. Ex-husband number 4, Charles Vallow, age 62, was lead shootered in the head by Alec, Lorie's brother, for the $1 million life insurance policy in 7/11 of 19. But then, just wait. You have ex-husband, 3rd, Joseph Ryan, age unknown, cause heart attack, questionable cause heart attack, died May 3rd of 2018. And then sister Stacy Scope, age 31, cause unknown, died 5/21 of 1998. But then there are 2 more little souls. Tylee Ryan, age 17, died 9/9 of 2019, the biological child of Lorie Vallow, Daybell, and Joseph Ryan. And that also had a son, okay? He's also, now he is alive, bless his heart. So anyway, Then we have J.J. Vallow, age 7. They adopted him by Lorie and Joseph, passed away September 19th. She was found guilty of unaliving. And then Chad Daybell, 5th husband, is natural causes, no autopsy, 11/29 of 19. So in 2019, you had husband number 5, 2 children, ex-husband, and brother, 5 people unalived. And then you had 2018, which is number 6, and 1998 is number 7. Y'all, that is a lot of unaliving. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Toxic. Amazing. Okay, we do have Colby J. Ryan. I need to give him credit. Let me copy that and get it in the things while we listen. So if you have liked this live, please put ILIKED and comment to be entered into the drawing that will happen tonight at the end of the month. Okay, let me get this up get this up so we can listen to this. This is her son, Ryan. I got to be careful. This is
we in the stew, baby. We are in the studio. So, first of all, I'm just going to congratulate myself on figuring out some technical things. I'm not very good at this.
Congratulations.
And I did a lot of research on YouTube to figure this out.
Yay, congratulations.
I want to give you guys a perspective. Now, I know on the podcast, first of all, let me start with this. Thank you guys so much for the love. The genuine love on the podcast and just in general. Honestly, you guys do not understand what that means to me. It just propelled me. I really want to let you know that I really, really love you guys. I love you guys and appreciate you. I know you're all real people. And I say that because there's obviously bots and things of that nature, but I really just want you to know I see the love and it means a lot to me. So thank you.
You're welcome, Boo Boo.
Now, this is something that I thought was really important to talk about. You know, as years have gone by, again, my perspective has changed on a lot of these things. This phone call is very interesting because you have to understand, when I made this phone call, this wasn't public. This wasn't for anybody else. This is me talking to my mom. I saw comments, obviously. And I really don't read a lot of comments when it comes to other things because you just never know if people are going to pop off. But the comments were, "This sounds scripted." Yeah, you're right. This is all paid acting. Come on, bro. Seriously? Like that's crazy. That's crazy. This phone call means something to me because this happened in 2020? I think this was a few weeks or maybe months after the fact that they found my siblings. And obviously that was very earth-shattering. I think another thing I wanted to share is in this time, I really tried to be reserved as possible. And it's really hard to do something like that in this situation. But I think that it is really important to remember that our emotions should not run us. And you don't want to say something you will regret later on. And that's something that I can somewhat applaud myself for in this conversation, is that I didn't just go off. I really tried to get through. So we're going to listen to this together. We're going to react to it and we'll talk about it throughout. So let's get started.
Yes, let's do.
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You think you can hide from me?
Yeah, so obviously when I called her, I'm really confrontational, obviously. I mean, way more confrontational. I'm a very non-confrontational person, or I guess I used to be way more non-confrontational. Now I just am more, I guess I'm about that life. I'm sorry. I'm just being stupid. I think a part of me is trying to cover, all the feelings with some comedy, and that's just how life is, right?
Comedy is a good way to cope, dude.
What I mean, though, is I've always been someone who's been very easy to run over. And I was so mad I didn't care when I said this. I'm not really sure, she wasn't hiding, but I was confronting her. that was where I was at. It was completely a confrontational call. That was the reason I called her.
Probably because you murdered my siblings.
Okay, let me say this also. I'm not going to pause it every 10 seconds, but
That's
I
one way
stopped
to say
talking
it.
to her before they found the kids. And reason why is because she said something very disturbing to me. And she mentioned, and I'm not exactly sure what happened, but she mentioned Abraham and Isaac. And if you know that story biblically, that's not something you say, especially in a situation like this. So we actually stopped talking. Then I found out, and then I'm not exactly sure when I called her back, but I just wanted to put that out there.
It's probably why you're hugging you.
Better, faster, cheaper.
Deal with a freaking
AI first custom.
Understand.
I didn't. I'm sorry that you feel that way.
You didn't do anything, right? Mom, I prayed for you in my worst moments. I prayed for my siblings who swore to me we're okay. I thought I could trust you. I thought that you were a completely different person. I don't know a murderous mother.
To make judgments when you weren't there and you don't know what happened.
Here's what's so frustrating. I didn't even judge you. I haven't said anything judgmental. I'm just telling you what happened.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes, I'm being confrontational. I'm coming at you because I'm upset, but I haven't judged you. And to group me in with everybody else is really frustrating because I'm not the media. I'm not all these other people. I'm calling you, and I guess a part of me is I'm already hearing, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think, why did I call her? Why did I call her? Like, what was the purpose of calling her? And I think a part of me just wanted her to just like show some life, show anything that resembled life after learning all of this stuff. That you're still my mom, that you're even still, I don't know, maybe I guess I was just holding on.
No matter how bad a parent is. And for those of you who are new here, welcome. I'm Ada Kay. I lost my husband to prison. No matter what my husband did, my children did try. They wanted their dad. Unfortunately, their dad, to me, and they learned, was no longer emotionally their dad. Biologically, yeah, emotionally, no. Couldn't be. And I understand what he's saying here. And that is a normal process, but I don't think he really liked the answers he's going to get.
What happened?
Everyone's making their own judgments.
Mom, you've been shoving BS on my throat for a very long time. I'm going to talk to you. Sweet. Hey, listen to me. I'm not mad. Listen to me.
No, I'm freaking mad.
Fine, listen to me. I sat there and prayed. I can't tell you the amount of pain that I felt from your decisions in Jesus Christ's name. It kills me to watch you sit here and tell me this is a trial.
So the hardest part was this is very complex. Man, this is heavy stuff. So let me just say it like this. It's so complex because someone that you love took the lives of other people that you love. So it's not just like I can write her off. She is still my mom. I still love her. And here I am trying to reach out to her. And it's just such a complex thing. Like I can hear myself I'm reaching out. I'm really realizing that now.
It kills me to watch you take the victim's route and say that this shouldn't have happened to you. When you are telling me that Chad Daybell came into your life and all of a sudden everything changes. And I'm talking about my spirit feels this. I prayed. I trusted you. I gave you every chance I could, past my own limitations as a human being. I pushed past all of everything to try to get to you, to help my own mother.
So one of the things that no one obviously understands is the time that I was trying to take before everything came out about what happened while she was there, talking to her. And it wasn't every single day, but it was definitely conversational. And we were talking because I was like trying to believe that this person is still my mother. Like, you guys don't understand this. She would do anything to protect the kids and me. So in my mind, there was no way, that anything could have happened. That's how I felt.
You lied to me, specifically to me, more times than I can count about this. To know that they're gone and you knew, and my phone is being texted by my little sister, who's not even alive, my little brother, who's the sweetest little kid ever. For what purpose?
He shouldn't have had to do this, Ronnie.
This is God's will for my whole family, including my stepfather.
Should not have had to have done this.
After everything that you try to tell me, you can tell me right now that Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world, is on your side. You tell me that with all the conviction in your heart that Jesus Christ is on your side.
So you guys need to understand, like, I was heavy reading my scriptures, especially the New Testament. And a part of me just wanted to, I was spiritually confronting her because I knew everything she did was wrong.
But here's something else. That boy was religiously abused, spiritually abused, along with a lot of other stuff. Yes, my cracklers. It is past dinner time here. So I agree with you, Ronnie. Bravo. Bravo, Colby. Good job, young man. You are doing what most young men could not do. Even adult sons couldn't even do this. So good job for you. This is horrible. And for you to be able to confront your parent like that, I commend you. I've seen it in my life. I know how hard it is, and I commend him for doing this. But that negates the fact that he's got some deprogramming of his own to go through.
And a part of me was just like, I don't know. I guess a part of me wanted to get her to like show me that somehow she was convicted, maybe somehow, some way that would, I don't know, mean something. I don't know. I guess I continue to tell you, I'm reaching out and don't know how else to say it. It's just in this way, spiritually, I couldn't stand the fact that you could sit there and say that this was because Jesus had told you or had even been on your side while you did all
Girl,
these things.
keep Jesus out of it.
I can't tell you that.
Say his name, say that he told you, and you followed him on exactness, because I have prayed for you. I sat there and tried my best to forgive you and Chad and Alex, and I was deceived, and I was broken by my own mother. What are you doing? What are you doing? I prayed to Heavenly Father, and I said, you tell me, Father.
They think they know what happened. They think
I don't care about
they know
other people.
what happened.
I was so mad because this is the stuff I'm talking about. This I didn't even talk about anybody else. I didn't even say anything about anybody else. What as rude as this is gonna sound, I didn't care and give two craps about anybody else. I never mentioned anybody else judging you. I'm the only one talking to you. I'm speaking to you about me. I didn't mention anybody else yet. I think I mentioned everybody in my family at one point that's upset about what happened. What does everybody else have to do with it? What are you talking about?
They think they know who's responsible.
Do you know that you told me? Do you know what you told me?
Because you weren't there. So
You're right. I wasn't there. I was kept in
that's
the
right.
lab.
And one day
Two kids.
you will know.
Murder.
One day
Murder.
you will know what actually happened.
You're right. You know what, Mom?
And we all will stand there with
everything
We-
into the light. You're absolutely right. He will convict the people who act in his name with pure blasphemy. Is this funny?
Yeah. This might have been the moment where I think I realized after the phone call, maybe even during, that this isn't the same person. This is not my mom. And I truly believe that this was demonic. And the way she laughs is she's laughing at the fact that I'm calling what she's done blasphemy. What blasphemy is the simplicity of saying that you're doing evil doings in Jesus's name, right? You're taking the name of the Lord and you're doing evil things by saying that I serve him still, right? And
Never saw
one of the
it.
simple things that Christ says is a house split against itself cannot stand. So she was a house split herself against herself because you can't do evil in Jesus' name. It just doesn't work. So, but I remember that laugh has haunted me personally for a very, very long time. And still, even hearing it, it's so tough because how could you laugh? What's funny? There's nothing funny. There's not a single thing funny. I'm getting all pissed. I'm getting all mad all over again.
This is funny. This is funny. You're laughing. Like, this is funny. How come your camera's on, Mom? You don't want to look at me in the eye?
So you have to understand, this is on the phone call with the tablets. So she used to talk to me. She specifically answered this call with her camera off.
Why can't you look at me? It's just you and me. I'm in my house alone.
I love you. I always will. One day you will see and one day you will understand.
No,
I do love
See
you.
how that works for you.
that's
gonna
not
hang
how
out?
this works.
I don't have anything else to say. You obviously don't
Let me
know.
tell you
Y'all want to watch the Netflix? We can do it on Discord.
Weren't there. You weren't there. Summer wasn't there. My mom wasn't there. The police weren't there. The FBI weren't there.
You're right.
Nobody
Mom was there.
was there.
Kylie and JJ, Mom.
Yeah, and guess what? They know. They know exactly what happened.
Backyard.
And they love me. And we are still together forever. They love me and they are fine and they do know the truth and I know the truth. And we're the only people that do. So you can judge me.
So for her to sit there and say that her children who are deceased are fine, they love her, they're fine, they're well. If you believe in heaven, because I don't like get too spiritual and religious here, but if you believe in heaven, then yeah, they are. But they're not here. That's not well. You are this is the first time I'm hearing this. She's sick.
Colby all day long. Go ahead and judge me the whole.
I didn't even judge you. It's so stupid. I haven't judged you. What are you talking? I'm getting real heated here. Slow your roll, young fella. Listen, I haven't judged you. I'm just telling you facts. I'm just telling you straight facts. I haven't said critical things about you. I'm telling you what you told me is all lies, and what you've done is all lies. And I spent months talking to you prior to finding this all out, trusting you because I'd ask you all the time if my family was okay. And I even said, is my family alive on this earth walking around? And I was told yes. So I just, it's crazy. Like, I'm not judging you. I haven't criticized you. I've not said nothing but what has happened. And then I'm telling you that I know you murdered them. And then I kept saying, tell me you did this all because Jesus told you to. And I knew she couldn't, but I kept confronting that because I knew the truth. I knew she couldn't say it. So that's what I'm talking about. Frick this.
The whole world has judged
She
you.
is demonically
They don't know,
wicked.
and you don't know. You don't know what I've been through, and you didn't even give a crap when they did.
Please.
Bro, that's fighting words instantly. To sit there and have the audacity to tell me that I don't care is beyond wild. And of course, I have enough sense to even say in my emotion in this moment to say, this woman is not all there. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that to tell me that I don't give a crap when I used to take care of the kids a lot by myself, especially when I was older, and be with them and love them, to sit there and tell me I don't care and it's just you, right? You're the only one. That's beyond crazy. Beyond crazy. I mean, of course it is, but
Nobody does. Except for me.
Just you.
I'm the one that knows. I'm the one that was in the hospital with Tylee for hundreds of days watching her suffer.
You're her mom. Who else would go? You're her mom. Yeah, you're supposed to be there.
Duh.
I don't know. Listening back to it, obviously, this is just thoughts that are coming to me. And for her to try to still seem like you're such a saint makes me want to throw up.
I'm the one that was there doing everything with JJ every day. I was the one who did it.
You did it all to throw it in the garbage.
You don't know what happened. You don't know what happened.
Freaking matter what happened if they're buried in your new husband's backyard.
So here's what I mean by that. And when I heard that, I realized what I was saying is it doesn't really matter the exact details in this context. It doesn't really matter the exact details or exactly how you took their life. It matters that they're gone. So you think it really matters of what you say about this happened or this happened? No, they're gone. You lied, you covered it up, you ran away, and now you're telling me that I don't know anything and that I'm just judging you and all this other stuff. So that's where we're at.
Tell me that matters what happened. You tell me that you did this in Jesus' name, Mom. I have to hear that out of you. You believe it, that you are not afraid. Every witness of Christ will scream his name when he comes back. So you are that person.
I am that person. I am that.
You're not that guy. You are not that guy. Listen to me. This is what I was getting at. So I was reading in the New Testament, and Paul was saying, and things of this nature, all the apostles who witnessed what Jesus did were willing to die. They're so convicted, so understanding of the reality of what they'd seen that they were willing to die for it. And Jesus said, you will suffer many things because of this. So in my logic, obviously in this moment too, is if this is true, if you're this convicted, if it's this real to you, and you're truly serving Christ, you've seen him in person somehow, whatever the case is, you would not shy away. You wouldn't shy away. So I was confronting that. And that's really all I could try to think is like, this, hey, go ahead and be about it. If you really believe that, then be about it.
That goddess, she's showing cracks now. She doesn't have her serums anymore.
Oh, yeah, because that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
You don't even know. You weren't even
When I asked you about Tylee in October, what did you tell me? What did you tell me? What lies did you tell me? Why would you lie to me if you're with the Lord and you've seen him, and I'm just talking purely to you, and you've seen Jesus Christ, where's the fear? Why wouldn't you tell me something? Why were you afraid? Why is everyone against you? Why is everything against my mom?
You can be against me all you
See, I'm gonna need a second to process this. Okay, so here's where we're at. Here's what I'm trying to tell her. And the reality is that all you've told me this whole time is every situation's against you. You are being wrongfully this and all this stuff. And it's like, it's not all about you. I didn't really call just for you. I was calling in the heat of the moment. I'm surprised she answered, but I think a part of her wanted to, just like a part of me wanted to talk to her. The reality is like, this whole thing is just complete deflection. And, I didn't want to try to force her to, I guess I was trying to force her to say that if you're really serving God, then you're not afraid. So it was really tough because I knew she couldn't say it.
One day, we will all stand there with Jesus. We will all stand there with Jesus, and you will know the truth of everything. Not for me.
You're telling me that this was all done in light. Say it. Tell me that this was done in Jesus' name.
This isn't funny. I just
It's not funny. It's delusional as hell.
I'm pissed. So I'm just listening to myself in this type
It
of
gets
exchange.
angering.
You have to realize, again, I said this earlier, this wasn't meant to be heard. I never did this thinking anybody else would hear this. So this was just a conversation between me and my mom.
You don't know what happened.
Why? Why don't I know, Mom? Oh, because I was kept in the dark to protect me? You know who needed protecting? My little dead siblings. That's who needed protecting, Mom. This is not...
Is that what you think you did?
You ran.
I haven't been.
A month.
For you to say, where were you, is beyond crazy. Beyond crazy.
Yeah.
And one of the most heart-ripping moments of my life. Like to somehow find a way to blame me for what you did. A part of me, and the worst part is, and I'm just being really honest with you, the worst part is that I'm someone who will take a lot of the responsibility to try to, I really want to say I'm sorry if I'm wrong, something of that nature. So a part of me was like, I wasn't there. I would have protected them. So this is mind games. It's mind games. And this is the stuff I've learned now. To be able to sit here and even talk to you about this topic shows for me, shows myself the growth, because this matters, because you shouldn't have to think this way and feel this way. And for someone to just sit there and tell you somehow it's your fault. No.
Later, you ran away. I never wanted you guys to leave. I would have taken those kids in 1 second. I would bring them into my home and I would have taken care of them. That's not even a question to me.
Yeah,
you can't say that
You see that? Everybody. That's the truth. I was 22, 23 years old. I think I just turned 23. And I still would have done it. We would have figured it out. Everybody says that. Okay, well, let's keep my mouth shut about that.
Says it now. Where was my offer?
I was, by the way, just again, I know I just paused it. This was quick wit. This was just instantly. I was actually surprised with how fast I responded to her.
Well, I did everything for them. Well, me and Peter Griffin run away together to Hawaii. How about that? If you had offered me, you would have known.
He's crying there.
That was funnier this time.
Are you laughing?
You have to understand. Okay, give me a second. Hold on. Let me slow my roll here.
Betrayal, Toy. It is the worst of betrayal. Is to look at someone you love while they're unaliving you.
Right? So for me to say that to her.
The worst of betrayal.
See, for me to tell her that her husband's being that's just funny to me because I just said it. It was heat of the moment. I don't know why that's not funny. It wasn't that funny until this moment. Just the context of this conversation for to throw that in there. I was so mad. So I don't know what the presence of mind was to throw that in there. That was good. Okay, give me a second. Oh, okay. Whew.
You cannot sit here and lie.
What is everybody? I'm getting really mad here. What is everybody? I haven't mentioned anybody else. I haven't said anything else about anybody else.
Not the truth. Okay? That's what people are
They
thinking.
were murdered,
They're
put in the
assuming.
ground, and then you walk away. So
You don't know. No, you don't know that. No, that is not what happened. That is
What
not
happened?
what happened.
You tell me what happened. If you can tell me what happened, then I don't care. If you can.
That's totally BS. What I'm saying in that moment, and I remember when I first heard that, I was like, what are you talking about? What I'm saying is, if you can actually explain this, if there's actually somehow, some way, and whatever you're saying you believe, if there's something real about this, and it's all because you're actually who you say you are, then that would possibly change something. That was really my mentality. Obviously, that.
Guys, I don't think anybody knew exactly what was going on with her and in her head. But what I do believe is that people were noticing her fanatic religious beliefs. And I think some people were getting a little concerned. I think that CPS was called on them. But it's not illegal to have fanatic religious beliefs as long as you're not harming anybody with them. Although they didn't know she was. It's bad.
That's not true at all. Of course I care. And
Hello,
I'm
it's
even mad that I even said that because of course I freaking care.
I went to the doctor today.
And it just I'm just reaching so deep in the bag to see if she'll say something.
Hope it's a good
human,
visit to
if
my
she
love.
will say something as my mom. If she'll say anything that somehow explains this.
Good to see you hit I
And
like.
it's obviously not there.
If I like,
Actually
say I like.
saying it, then it's different.
I would love
But you can't.
to talk to you about it.
Mom, you've been saying that you've been wanting to tell me for a very long time, and you never say it. You have no idea how much pain I have felt in my body. I feel like I could die. My own mom, my siblings, and my whole family, my dad, everyone is gone except for you, and you're in jail because of it. I have prayed to Heavenly Father himself and asked him to help me survive this. Do you understand the freaking earthquake that has been caused? Do you know how many people are hurt and broken now? And you're telling me that there's a reason? Why are you following Chad down the rabbit hole, Mom? Why would you follow anybody that is not good? How can you follow someone that cannot lead you to salvation in Jesus, Mom? You can't lie to me anymore. You can't pretend anymore. You can't hide anymore. If you want to tell me what happened, I called you for that very reason. You had enough condemnation for the whole entire eternity, but you're telling me that you're going to stand in front of Jesus Christ and you're going to be fine. That I'm still praying for you. I am still praying for you.
Man, that was tough. That was tough. Obviously, give me a second. Obviously, I don't want anything bad to happen to my mom. I've been angry, as anybody probably would be. But it's not like I have bad intent for her or anybody in my family. So obviously that's very serious, saying this is not just an issue of the earth. This is an eternal issue. You're blaspheming God. You've read your Bible. I think that's the approach, and that's the difference now, is these conversations that we're having about this is stuff just like, it's just really heavy. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I listening to her speak to me that way is even crazier. But I stood up. Hey, good job, buddy.
I don't know where the lies and all these things are written. I don't see it. I never have. The light of Jesus Christ is the most powerful thing that's ever lived. It's the most loving, embracive thing that has ever happened to this world. And I pray that you see him and fall into his grace. I pray every day. I pray, no matter how mad I am at you, no matter how bad I want to hit your husband in the face with a shovel, I pray for you. I pray for him.
That's messed up. That's messed up to say that.
You ripped my heart out, and you ripped out everyone in this family's heart out. I'm going to be in Idaho this week. You need to look me in my eye, Mom. Look me in my eye.
All right. Cancel that. Stop this. All right. So I don't know. What do you want me to say here? Here's what I'll say. Okay. At the end of the day, it's definitely tough to listen to this. I've learned so much in the last 5 years. It's almost been 5 years. Oh, I look at my watch. It's almost been 5 years, and I have learned a tremendous amount. What has egged this on for me to even want to listen to this stuff is because this whole thing has been in everybody else's hands for years, and everybody's talked about my private conversation. Again, I know when I called her, it wasn't private. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to understand, like, I wasn't doing this publicly, but now it's public. And this is something that people have listened to. I'm telling you this because I feel that it's important for you to understand. What I really hope is that two things, okay? Well, more than two, but the two main points. Number one, stand on your ground when you know you're right. Okay? Secondly, do not cast your pearls to the swine. And as tough as that is to say, do not cast your pearls to the swine. And what I mean is, don't let someone, see if I can fix this right now.
Thank you.
Don't let someone, okay, let me pause real quick.
Don't
There's
rain
a
on
very
my
specific
parade.
time that Jesus addresses throwing pearls to the swine.
Yep.
And it's talking about how if you do that, the pigs will trample on the pearls and ruin them, correct?
Yep.
Like, why are you giving a pig that?
They'll destroy
It's
them. There's
kind of the
no
same
value
thing.
to the pig.
I was really casting a net out there. I'm really trying to have this conversation with her. I'm trying so hard to reach her, and it's not working. So a part of me wishes that I would have said more. A part of me wishes that I never said anything. And then the last part of me feels like I did everything I could. And that's what I've hung my hat on for a long time, is I really tried. I feel like I can honestly say that I gave everything I had. I tried so hard. And I guess I wanted or felt a burden to try to save whatever was left. Like, I was like on the boat trying to save the family, even though they're all gone, and just trying to patch it up. And I don't know. I took an unrealistic responsibility. And I think that's one big thing I've learned for people that I'd love to share is like really understanding not everything is on you. it's not always your responsibility to try to fix everything. You know, you can't. It's a hard lesson, but it's true. You know, probably another really big thing is no matter what somebody does, you choose forgiveness. That's all that matters. Your ability to choose that forgiveness is the difference between your life being poisoned or setting yourself and someone else free. You know? So it doesn't mean you're not.
Okay, he's pretty much done there. That is true. Good point, Toy. This is a horrible situation. And I gotta say, young man, my heart goes out to you. My children have had to make some of the same tough decisions you are concerning their other parent. Well done. You may never see this, but I want you to know that we commend you. Hi, Kristen, everybody. We only have 8 entries into the I Liked giveaway. I'm going to draw one name tonight, and it will be entered into the end of the month $50 gift card. So if you've not done so and you are watching, please hit the like button and then comment ILIKED. I liked, all one word, to be entered, because we're going to be giving that away in a minute. So he is still processing. He is definitely still processing. Thank you, guys. It's adding. Thank you. Definitely still processing. He is, this is going to take many years for him to fully process. But I am very grateful he's got a healthier look as to what's happening than most young people do. Yeah, he's definitely still processing. But now we're on to her unaliving somebody else. And that is going to be the next trial. Sunday night, members only live. If you want to be a part of our members only live and be able to come in, we are going to be discussing the Odin cult. I don't want to say the Sea World, but we're going to be discussing that. I'm going to try and get, I need to get someone in to come on live with me. But memberships do start at 99 cents. So if you would like to join, please do so. The higher the membership, of course, the more benefits you get. But we will be doing a members only live. I have kind of put a pause on that because I wanted people to be able to be members. If you become a member, if you become a member, I will know. You get additional entries into the drawing. If you gift memberships, you get 10 additional entries and they get 10 entries. So everybody can win. Everybody can win. Sure. Oh my gosh, how wonderful. Thank you, Toy. Thank you, beloved. Woohoo! Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we will be having that live Sunday Night Live at 7 p.m. for members only. I will see you then. And then Monday, depending on what trial is starting. Well, I take it back. Monday, I'm off. I'm starting to do off days on Monday unless we have an important trial on. That is my day to get my week together and get some stuff done. Journey to Justice, thank you. Oh, well, thank you so much. We will donate it to somebody who couldn't do it. But ex-husband number 3, M. Diaz, thank you. Please put I liked so I can get everybody in the entry, because I'm going to do it in just a minute. But we have a new member, Toy. Yay! And Journey to Justice, thank you for becoming a member. Whoop, 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 whoop. Appreciate you so much. Also go to As the Gavel Drops for your court document needs. Please register and then validate your account. Please come to our Discord if you would like to join us. I'm thinking about maybe doing a movie tomorrow on Saturday. I don't know what movie yet. I love doing the movies now and learned how to do the movies. So we'll find something fun. If you have a movie suggestion, please go into the members chat in the Discord. I've got some new unreads. Let me make sure there's nothing I have to do. How long is this interview? We may go ahead and do it. Let me see. Yep, we're going to do this. Never mind. We're not going to end just yet. Well, we will end shortly. I fibbed. We have thank you, Miss Ronnie. Were you the one that sent this to me? Ronnie, I've got some fabulous research mods. I couldn't do this without you, but we do have an interview. Cancel. That's not what I wanted to do. I want this. I want that. We're going to play this. It is only 15 minutes.
Hi. So you have to spell your name because we're all taking guesses on how to spell it. We're not sure.
Tylee.
Okay, I was right. And what's your last name?
Ryan, Ryan.
And your birthday.
Thank you for doing that.
And then, do you have a phone?
Yeah.
What's your phone number?
Thank you for doing that.
Okay. So I know this is going to kind of sound like kind of a silly question. Because
oh my God,
it's
one away
super
from 40
broad.
likes. Come on, one more like.
But can you
one more
basically tell me what happened today? And you can start at whatever place makes sense.
This is a pre-interview chatter between Tylee and Chandler Detective in the Charles Vallow unalive released by Chandler PD.
For you to kind of start and explain, and I'll probably kind of ask you questions as we go a little bit.
Okay. So I woke up probably around like 7:50, I want to say, because I heard yelling from like right outside my door. I don't even know what I heard, but I immediately like jumped up, and I have a baseball bat because when I was living at my uncle's by myself, I just wanted something to like feel safer, and I'm not old enough to get like pepper spray or anything, so I was like, okay, I'll get a baseball bat. So I have that.
So your bedroom, you said right outside your bedroom door, and I didn't go in the house, so I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage. So what is your bedroom door open to?
My bedroom door open, so the room that my uncle was staying in, the room that's kind of like the guest room, if my room's right here, that's right there.
Okay.
And then
guys, one more light.
Little brother's room, and then the kitchen's kind of back here, so it's like a little hallway, and then right here is kind of where everything happened.
Okay.
Like the big, you walk in and
like big great room, kind of living room.
Yeah, right now it just has mirrors up because my mom wanted a dance room.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
My mama wanted the dance room.
Hey, whatever makes you happy. It's your guys' house. So.
Right. So yeah, I immediately just jumped up and I grabbed my baseball bat and I opened the door, and it was my stepdad, you know, outside the doorway, and then my uncle kind of in the doorway, and then I could hear my mom behind him, and he was just screaming at both of them. Like, I don't even know what he was saying because honestly I was just too like wired, I guess. So I told him to take a few steps back. I was like, you're too close, you need to step back. And he was like, don't tell me what to do. And I just kind of just stood there, and then my uncle kind of moved out of the way, and then my mom kind of went past him and into like the big room.
Okay.
Where everything happened, and so I walked with them, and then
So they were more in the hallway.
Yeah, they were at like the end of the hallway, basically. And so my mom walked all the way around, and he kind of followed them, and I just kind of stood. My uncle was like right here, and then my stepdad right here, and then me and my mom were kind of right here. And I didn't do anything with the baseball bat. I kind of just held it there, and he was getting really close to my mom, so I kind of stuck it out like between them, and they were both just yelling, and he was like, if you hit me with that baseball bat, you're gonna go to jail. And I just kind of stood there with the baseball bat, and I didn't really say anything.
When you said they were yelling, who was yelling?
It was mostly my stepdad.
Okay.
Well, he was really the only one like yelling. My mom was kind of like responding, but I honestly couldn't tell you what they were saying. It was kind of just like all jumbled up in my head. And so I just kind of stuck the baseball bat out there, and then he just grabbed it and tried to take it. So I held on to the end, and then eventually I fell, and he kind of took it into his hands, like he was gonna do something with it, and that's when.
So when you fell, he ended up with the bat?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I fell to the ground.
Okay, guys, you won't believe this. Yeah, 3.7 magnitude earthquake just struck California, along with the fires.
And then my uncle kind of like, I saw him take a step back, so my uncle, I think, grabbed him and kind of took him back so he couldn't like do anything.
You saw your stepdad like take a step back?
Take a step back, because he was really close to begin with, and then and so my mom said to go with JJ, and so I ran out the door, and then I kind of just stood there with my little brother. He was in the front seat of the car, and so I just kind of opened the door and just stood there, and like, he was trying to get out, and I was like, no, we have to stay in, and I was like, oh, like, I told him, like, do you want to go in the Jeep? And then he was like, no, and then I realized that my car was blocked in, so I couldn't anyways. I was like, okay, like, just stay here, and then eventually my mom came out, and then we left from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened inside of the house? Has your mom kind of explained it all to you?
I just kind of asked her, like, because I heard a noise, which I know what it was now, but it sounded like, because I knew that the base of I was in there, it sounded like someone, like, took it and hit it really hard against the floor.
Okay.
And so I was kind of like, Al's okay, right? Because that's my uncle. So I just wanted to make sure that, like, my stepdad didn't do anything to my uncle and stuff. And so she was like, no, like, Al's fine. Like, we're just going to take JJ to school. And I was like, okay. So I just got in the car, and then we went to Burger King because my little brother wanted breakfast, which was chicken fries for some reason.
Okay. I do dinner for breakfast all the time.
Make sure they have not
Breakfast for
started
dinner and
dinner
dinner for
plans. I
breakfast.
don't want to run out on them if they've already started cooking.
So, to kind of back up a little bit, so you had talked about your stepdad, when you put the bat out, your stepdad was coming towards your mom. Can you describe to me a little bit better kind of what was going on there? Like, is there a reason you put the bat up?
Yeah, he was walking towards my mom, and I just didn't want him to do anything, so I kind of just stuck out the bat. Like, my mom was right beside me, and he was right there, so it wasn't, like, between them.
Okay.
It was kind of just, like, I just stuck it out to be, like, keep your distance, kind of.
When you say you didn't want him to do anything, what did you think he was going to do?
Hit her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, for the most part, been pretty, like, mundane, but there have been a few, like, violent times with him when I was really scared that he was going to hit me or hit my mom, like, just because everything was kind of crazy. Me and him have always kind of not gotten along, like, just since I was little. And so there have been a few times that we've gotten in fights and stuff like that, and so, so I'm just kind of always scared of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so that happened, and he grabbed the bat from you. So kind of tell me that again real quick.
So I kind of stuck it out, and this is when he was like, if you hit me with that baseball bat, you're going to jail, and I didn't say anything. I'm like, okay. And so I'm holding it by, the end of the bat, like, the place where you hold it, and so he kind of took it, and I kind of, like, lunged forward and kind of lost, like, my footing. And so my mom was like, just let go, and so, I kind of, like, slipped and I fell, kind of on, like, my side.
Okay.
Yeah, and then from that, my mom said to go to the car, so I just got up and ran out the door.
Okay,
Hey, Joy,
did you
what part of
see,
California?
when you fell towards your side, did you see what he did with the bat?
No, I wasn't really looking in that direction, because from where I fell, the door was kind of more in my line of vision, because I fell looking this way and the door was, like, right there, so I didn't look back.
So he was he was at a different line of sight than what you were looking at?
Yeah.
Okay. And then at some point you saw him kind of take a step back, and from what you're saying, and tell me if I'm wrong or not, you didn't necessarily see your uncle pulling back, but it seems like that maybe.
It seems like he wouldn't have taken a step back on his own, so it's more of an assumption than anything. I didn't see him physically take him back.
And does that make sense based on where your uncle was at that time?
Yeah, he was behind him because he wasn't on this side with me and my mom, so he was behind him.
Okay.
Because that's kind of just the order where everyone walked out.
And when that happened and then your mom told you to go, did you see what happened with your stepdad and uncle?
Most definitely.
Okay. And then once you went outside with your brother, you never came back inside.
Oh, I went to go get my mom's purse from inside so that we could have like her wallet and everything, but this was all happening, like I said, like in the bigger room right here. And so I went through the garage door, and so the garage door is right here, and then there's like a little hallway, and then this is kind of where everything is, and then this is my mom's room.
Okay.
So when I went in, I kind of like just tuned everything out, ran to my mom's closet, ran back, so I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything.
When did you go back in and get her purse?
After my mom came out.
Okay. So after you heard that loud noise?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you heard the loud noise, was your mom outside or inside?
I hope he is safe.
I'm trying to think.
Thank you, Jesus, that Toy
I
is
think
safe.
I think she was inside when it happened and the door opened like immediately after.
So very quickly after the door opened?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a long period of time because I remember not like thinking about it for that long, and if my mom hadn't come out immediately, I would have, been thinking about it for a lot longer than I had.
So obviously I don't know like your mom and stepdad and uncle. Like you do, I don't. So can you tell me kind of where the three of them were at kind of emotionally and how they were behaving when all this was happening?
When all this was happening or like before?
When all this was happening. So like when you came out of your room and he took the bat from you and...
Yeah, so my stepdad was like, he was like, I don't even know how to explain it. He honestly just looked like kind of a crazy person.
Okay.
Like screaming and like his face was beet red. He just looked like really mad. I remember when he took the bat from me, I saw his face for like a split second, and I honestly like, it didn't even look like him. He just looked like pure like rage. Like he was just seeing red. So I haven't really seen him like all the way like that before. That's like the craziest I've ever seen him. And then my uncle was kind of calm, like not super calm. Obviously it was like a stressful situation, but he's like, I don't know, he was kind of just standing there in the doorway, kind of just being protective of my mom, but he wasn't yelling or really saying anything.
Okay.
And my mom was just he was yelling and my mom was kind of just like talking.
Okay.
So yeah.
But you don't remember, if you do, like what your mom was saying at all, or what he was mad about?
No, not really. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
Honestly, like
we're talking about something that probably happened over 2 seconds of time. So.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like 2 seconds and 40 minutes at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, come on. Sarah Boone only did one person. There's a potential 7 under Lorie's belt.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were really saying. I just kind of heard yelling over everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of just do that whenever things are like really loud. I kind of just like tune what people are saying out because.
Hello, let me be frank
yelling
with
isn't
you.
fun, obviously, for a kid to hear. And with my biological dad, I always heard.
I'm going to take a minute to say thank you, everybody, for joining. We are finding out that some of our viewers are either in California, have family members in California. Please know that our prayers and thoughts are with all of you. Please go to our Discord, and under weather or events, you may kind of keep us posted on how everybody's doing. If you are new here, please go and click the like button and then put ILIKED in the comments. I am 1 like away from 40 clicks. I am a new channel, so I would really appreciate the assistance and bringing that up to 40 likes today. I don't think I've had that many likes before. We're having a really good day, and I appreciate all you new people hopping on, and we welcome your discussions and comments. This has been a Lorie Vallow afternoon. We've been on for about 2.5 hours now, and this is the last video we're going to watch today. This is Taylor Ryan following Charles Vallow's death, released by the Chandler PD. Interview of Lorie Vallow, Daybell's daughter.
Him like screaming and stuff, so I kind of just learned how to like tune it out.
Who I believe is now unalived.
So when you woke up to yelling, and you had said you weren't sure what they were actually saying, did you know who was yelling when you heard the yelling?
Yeah, I knew it was my stepdad.
Oh, we got 40. Thank you.
Well, at first I kind of didn't, like when you first wake up, you're kind of disoriented. And then I remembered that my stepdad was like coming in to take my little brother to school today. So I immediately like knew it was him. Mm-hmm. And then my uncle I knew was staying, so I knew that was him. And then my mom, obviously, I knew that was her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then,
also, we do have memberships.
You stepped out of your room and you took the bat with you.
We also have memberships that start at 99 cents in order to be a part of the Member Live, where we talk about the olden Clute. I have to be careful with that word.
Is there a reason why you took the bat with you?
Honestly, I think that was kind of just like first instinct.
I was terrified.
Like obviously I didn't ever hit him with the bat or anything like that. It was kind of just for like security, I guess, to know that I had it. I didn't do anything with it. In hindsight, I probably just shouldn't have brought it out at all because it caused more trouble. But it was kind of just first instinct, and it was right by my bed. So I kind of just
welcome.
Jumped up and grabbed it.
So I'm trying not to put like words in your mouth and stuff.
You're good.
So was there something in particular that you were concerned about that you would have taken the bat with you?
Duh.
Only if he had been violent towards like me or my mom.
I'm assuming you're talking about your stepdad?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna take the bat and like do something with it. It was kind of just like I need something in my hands to like feel safer.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So my kind of second dumb question is, and I don't know that there necessarily is, but I always kind of want to make sure, is there anything that, we didn't talk about or I didn't ask you about or anything that you think is important or anything that I should know? Because it's harder for you because you were there. And so I'm asking questions about something I didn't even see. So I just want to make sure like I didn't miss something or anything that you think I should know about.
That was pretty much it.
Okay. And if you think of something, in 5 minutes and tomorrow or whatever else, we can always talk again. It's totally fine. So I talked to your mom about, we have some victim services people that work here. They're not cops. They're really good at what they do. So I really want your mom to talk to them because I think it would be good that your mom has, and you guys have some, maybe kind of some extra support if you need anything kind of go moving on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to check in with your mom real quick, and if she's good to go, then I'm going to introduce one of them to you guys. That way you guys can talk before I take you guys back. Okay? Sound fair? Okay. Do you have any questions for me at all?
No,
okay. If you do, let me know, okay? Okay.
Wow. Okay. So there you go, y'all. That is the end of her interview. Those kids are so brainwashed. Oh my gosh, y'all. Sensei, can I put my foot down? Sensei, Mama needs a place to... Seriously, my service dog. I got some new people. Let me introduce myself. I'm Ada K. Brown. I am deaf without my hearing aids, and yes, I do sign when we have a deaf person who is watching at that time. I want to thank all of you for coming on. Please go and hit the like button. We hit our 40. Yay. I don't think we've ever had 40 likes before. So yay. Thank you. If you hit that like button, comment ILIKED, you will be entered into, we'll do a drawing today. And that person goes into the end of the month drawing for a $50 Starbucks gift card giveaway. If you don't do Starbucks, we'll get you whatever you do like. You know sign language? Really? You want to interpret? Oh, that's awesome. Yay. I may to Mexico to hold on a second. Someone just came in our door. That they were good hands. Yeah, I know. It's so heartbreaking watching something of somebody who's been unalive. So and nobody wants to believe their parents are pure evil. Ain't that the truth? So a little bit about this channel. We've been live officially for about 8 months, I believe. I started in May. That's late April, early May is when I started. So I'm still very new at this, but we are following a lot of trials. And Monday, a Sunday night live is when I usually go live every Sunday night, unless something happens. And then one live a month is our members only. So we're going to be talking about Odinism this time. I'm going to try and get some guests on. And if you guys are members and you would like to be a guest, let me know. And thank you for liking. And you are now entered in. You need to put Infinity, put ILIKED, all one word. If you have liked, then do it this way in the comments so you can be entered. Go ahead and re-enter it, Infinity. It's fine. I'm going to drop the coffee link right now. We have a fabulous coffee sponsor, Hitchman. Hey, y'all, please help me welcome the Hitchman Homestead Coffee. They are fabulous. They have many different blends of freshly roasted, freshly ground coffee. They have a monthly club where you get 4 bags for $40 or a Keurig option. Also, they just came out with a half and half. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. So do me a favor. Go down to the link below at hitchmanhomestead.com. Order you some coffee and show them some love. They are fabulous coffee, and I'm trying to find there it is. There's their coffee. Yay. They're fabulous. So, all right, let me be frank with you. Thank you so much. Do it again, Infinity, so you can get in because I'm getting ready to do the drawing. Oh, you can do one song? That one? By the way, we have 2 sponsors, and Hitchman Homestead Coffee is the one that keeps me going. They are very good coffee. It's a wonderful coffee. I want to thank Toy for being a new member and Miss Journey to Justice for being a new member. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do have a very important announcement. We have a new head boss. I call them mod bosses. They are the person that all the mods need to go through while I'm live if there's a problem going on in the back office. And the new person who has so graciously and willingly and so lovingly decided to be our mod boss is Miss Toxic Orchid. Woohoo! She is now our head mod boss. So if she's making some changes or says anything in Discord or in anything back office, it's okay. She's got my permission to do so. And Ronnie, woohoo, is our research boss. She is the research queen. We are looking for mods for research or for live mods. We're also looking for a mod who is really good at YouTube, so who can be in the background in YouTube, and a mod that can be background in StreamYard. It does not have to be the same person. With that, let's get ready for Let me share screen. Giveaway. We are going to do the giveaway. So everybody, welcome Miss Toxic. Now our other mod boss, Miss Kevin, is always an honorary mod boss. She is not fully given up. I do not want her to fully give up. I absolutely adore her and love her. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here today. So she will always be a part of the mod boss family, but Toxic is now kind of our head mod. And so we just welcome her. And Ronnie's been with me from day one. And I love you, Ronnie. You've been absolutely amazing. And we couldn't do this without you. All right, here we go. Let's see who's going to be the winner. Winner, chicken dinner. And what's going to happen, TK? Woohoo! Okay, what is going to happen is TK, you have been entered into the end of the month drawing. It will be, if you don't want a Starbucks gift card, but you would want a Tumblr or a gift card somewhere else, whoever the winner is, I will let you know. By the way, if you have become a member, you get 10 entries. If you gift memberships, you get 10 entries. If you subscribed, you get 5 entries. Those all are going into the end of the month pot. But the liking every stream, I have to narrow that down because it bogs down the number of entries. Makes it too crazy for the machine to keep up. So that's what we're doing. So congratulations, TK. You were in the drawing at the end of the month for the $50 gift card to Starbucks or wherever you want. And then we'll go from there. Whoop, whoop. All right, guys. Second live of the day. So unless something happens over the weekend, I probably won't be live this weekend. And if I do, it'll be sporadic. I would love to do a movie tomorrow on Discord. So keep an eye out on our Discord. Can someone throw up my Discord real quick, please? Please join our Discord. We're fun. We're a nice group. We don't bite. And we have some fun pages. And we also are very tightly connected, of course, to Toxic Orchid and As the Gavel Drops. Once again, go to them for all your As the Gavel Drops and Discord for all your court document needs. Make sure that you register your account before you can access the documentations and information. And if you should share any of that publicly, please give credit where credit is due. Some people pay for that information. All right, guys, I am so honored and blessed that you joined me today. I love doing this, and more importantly, I enjoy being here with you. And they are amazing people over there at Toxic Orchid and Gavel Drops. With that, Belle, that's our front door of the business, I'm going to let you go. Y'all, stay safe. We are praying for you, California. Keep in prayer all the firefighters and first responders that are over there. A lot of them have traveled from Canada, Australia, all over America. This disaster is, I think, now the number one worst disaster, even worse than the San Francisco fires. So please keep all the medical personnel, police, EMS, firefighters, everybody in your prayers. Until then, I will see you for sure on Sunday Night Live for you members. And if you want to join us in Discord for a movie, keep an eye out. I'll let you know what we're going to watch. In the meantime, good night. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I hope you have an awesome day. Till next time, take care.